I'm back in California. I got in last night to San Francisco International. It's really good to be back. It's pretty cold. It's about 8 degrees and it's really foggy, but I just love my parents' backyard. It's so peaceful. This is the house that I grew up in, so it's so nostalgic to be here and calming. I love this home so much. My sister and I would have so much fun just exploring. It's on an acre of land. For people who don't know me personally, I am from Martinez, California, and that's about 45 minutes outside of San Francisco. So I grew up with, you know, a lot of animals and wildlife. I do kind of miss that. I was telling my dad, like, you know, I don't think I've even seen a squirrel in the Netherlands, truly. Honestly, it also presents its issues just, you know, living that close to wildlife, like snakes and raccoons. There's always problems and a lot of roadkill, getting into your trash, attacking your pets. So it sounds nice, but honestly, it's not. So I can't say that I really do miss it, but it would be nice to, you know, see a squirrel once in a while in Nederland. Yeah, the front yard, my sister and I used to play basketball here. By the way, let me show you guys my dog that is still supposed to come to the Netherlands. Louie, come here. It's the brown one. Hi, Lulu. This is my first time driving in over a year. I just went to run some errands. My dad wanted me to pick up some prime rib for dinner tonight. I don't really like meat, but that's what he wanted. And then I also went to the store and got some medicine, some Dayquil, because I think the medicine just works a lot better here. I'm gonna bring it back. So Dayquil basically is amazing. If you take it when you're sick, it's like you're not even sick. It has just everything that you need in one. So nasal congestion, cough, it has Robitussin, Tylenol, everything. And yeah, paracetamol just doesn't do it for me when I'm really, really sick, and I'm sick quite often. So it's nice to drive again. I feel like, yeah, I realize being here just how much you rely on a car. Literally, if my mom is using her car, and it's like you don't have freedom to do anything at all. Just got my Mexican food. It's a huge plate of chips, beans, salsa. So I think a literal tear is going to fall from my eye. Not because it's spicy, but because this is a big moment for me. I've been deprived of this taco truck for over a year. So here we go. This rain is pretty relentless. Obviously it rains a lot in the Netherlands, but at least it's like intermittent and you can kind of plan your day and find when it's not raining and go out and do the things you need to do. But here it's been all day, all week, so it's okay. I mean, like I said, I don't mind rain, but it's just funny that it hardly rains in California. We have like one of the biggest droughts, and then the week I come home, it's pouring rain. I am gonna be super basic for a minute and talk about Starbucks. I know that Dutch people think that Starbucks is gross, so they don't care. But to me, it's important. And I just want to talk about a few differences between a Starbucks in the Netherlands and then one here. Is first of all, they don't have the app in Netherlands, so that does kind of suck to like, because I like to build up points and stuff. And then here, you can really customize your order to a crazy like you can ask for anything. I'm at the Cheesecake Factory. I always think it's so pretty in here. I don't think we have cheesecake factories out in Europe, but looking forward to a nice big iced beverage and a large meal. How they give you a huge drink, fill it to the very top with ice, and free refills. And they'll give you a water for free, fill the top with ice. Look, this is another thing they always give you if you want a box for the leftovers with the bag. For those of you guys who watched my London Paris vlog, you guys know Jordan.
Hi.
She's back and she wants to say something.
What is it, Doc?
Doc.
Doc.
Hey guys, so I'm back in the Netherlands now. I just wanted to do a recap of my trip. It was a really brief trip. It was only a week, but it was really, really nice. So yeah, the highlights were just seeing my family and friends after living in the Netherlands for a year now. I know a lot of people have been asking me, you know, having been there a year, does the Netherlands feel like home to you yet? And honestly, not really yet. But California doesn't feel like home either to me anymore. Isn't that weird? I just feel like my son is my home, you know? And like wherever he is, that's where I feel at home. I think the hardest part of the trip was we did drive a couple hours north to visit my grandparents, and I was able to see firsthand the devastation of the wildfires. My grandparents' entire town burnt down last year in the Dixie Fire. So I can put some footage here that I took. As you can see, there's really been not a lot of effort to rebuild a lot of the community. You know, sometimes in rural areas, there isn't enough money to rebuild, or small businesses, especially if they don't get the proper insurance settlement, it doesn't happen, or it takes a really long time to happen. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with my channel, I have talked a lot before about the wildfires in California, where I'm from. I've thought about doing a whole separate video about my experiences living through them, but basically, well, it's a really, really complicated issue. Some people ask me, you know, what do you think is causing them? And yeah, of course, I do think that climate change contributes, but I just think it's a more complex issue than that. There's a lot of factors. For one, the power grid in America is terrible. I don't know if you've ever been to America, you see all those really, really ugly above ground power lines. Yeah, all of those are supposed to go underground. And if you notice in the Netherlands, you don't see those here. And it creates a very dangerous situation where you have electricity and vegetation combining in a state that has a very severe drought. So anyways, in a nutshell, that's kind of what it's all about. And I've been open on my channel. It was one of the reasons that we did decide to leave California. So yeah, and here I am now. When I met my husband in San Francisco, we didn't think that we were going to move back to the Netherlands. You know, we were getting his US citizenship and we intended on staying there, but all this crazy stuff started happening, and the wildfires were definitely a huge, huge reason that I finally agreed to move here. So yeah, thank God my grandparents' house was saved. A lot of their neighbors were as well, but the entire downtown area, all the businesses were completely demolished. So I know that everything can be rebuilt and things can be replaced, but especially when you're an older age and it's just not easy to just start all over, you know? Yeah, I know, I would know very well what that feels like. By the way, I see a lot of, you know, reverse culture shock videos when people return back to the States and what was shocking to them. So for me, I'll just say mine. It might not be the one that you would think, but it's actually the media. So, and specifically the way that the media portrays crime, I would like to discuss a little bit. So basically, if you're following the news in the States, there's this really big homicide case. It was a murder in Idaho, and a lot of my family and friends were talking about it when I went back. I can link down below. I don't know if you might need a VPN to see it, but yeah, so it was really, really shocking to me going back, and it was really weird to see just how sensationalized it is over there, the news, and how it's making national headlines. Like, obviously this is a really tragic thing, you know, a murder happened in Idaho, but, you know, is that really national news, breaking news, like they say? No, not really. But, and the way that the media also will just release all these details, like of the crime scene and the 911 call, and all these details that you don't get out here, you typically would not see in a news article. They kind of do that to get you invested, and that's why everyone is talking about it, because it's like it's a movie or something. They make it like it's a movie, and all this stuff that, you know, the public doesn't really need to know. And when I moved to the Netherlands, it was kind of, actually reading the news was really surprising to me, because it seemed almost like boring, you know, but as it should. You know, there shouldn't really be that emotional element, or it shouldn't really have all of those extra details that just the police should know, you know. Specifically, the way that they treat criminals in the media here, I was very surprised how much they try to kind of almost protect their identity. I can recall seeing a news article, I think in the south of Netherlands. It was a very, very awful news that involving a child, and not the suspect, the man that confessed, and the police actually convicted this man of committing the crime in the Netherlands. In the news article, they blurred out his face, and they only gave the first letter of the last name. And I was thinking, you know, why are you making such a strong effort to, you know, protect his identity? And, you know, it'll just say very, very little details of the situation. And, you know, where I'm from in the States, it's just normal to give a lot of details. So, and especially, you know, when they find out a suspect, within 24 hours, they're interviewing neighbors, family members, like all of it is up for public consumption, that person's life and details and stuff like that. So here it just almost seems like it's not enough. Like, I want more transparency or more details, even though it's not really necessary to know all of that. But for me, like, especially if it's a really heinous crime, I just want to know. I just want to know who are you? What's your last name? I want to see the mugshot. I want to know, where do you work? Who's your family? You know, as a member of the public, I do. So I think here in the Netherlands, it's not enough for me. I would like to know some more information. Like, sometimes there's really, really big events, it seems like, that don't even make the news. And then when it does, it'll just be like 2 sentences, like, there was a robbery on this day, and that's it, you know? But in America, it's crazy how the media will just pick up a story and run with it, and the nation just gets so invested in all of the details on the case, and they're just waiting for updates and, oh, did you hear this and that? It's like, this is not a movie, you know, like this is real life. Like this is a real life crime that the police are investigating. So yeah, that is my reverse culture shock. One of them. I guess there's more that I could talk about, especially Christmas and just being there around Christmas, and just Americans go so hard for Christmas. It's just crazy. And, you know, that has been something, especially as a new parent and stuff, just navigating like all the traditions that I had growing up as a kid in the US, and all of the presents in excess. And I really did enjoy those things, but it's just not something that I want to continue, you know, for my child. And I did buy him like a lot of gifts and stuff, and something about it just didn't feel right, you know, just over consuming and stuff like that. So yeah, but it seems like Dutch people like New Year's better, and I'm like, why? Christmas is better. But that's my personal opinion. I just love Christmas. So I think those are all my updates right now. I have to restart uni tomorrow. Oh, I feel like I'm not ready. I'm just, yeah, I could use another week of vacation, but yeah, it'll be good to just get back into a routine. I think those are all my updates for now. Yeah, so 1 year in the Netherlands. I'm just really happy to be here, you know? Like, I was talking to my husband the other day, and he was just saying, wow, I think that you've transitioned a lot better than I thought you would, moving to a whole new country. And, you know, I think so too. And I'm actually really proud of myself, you know? I mean, of course I do get homesick sometimes, but in general, it's a pretty healthy amount. So yeah, like I said, I'm just really happy to be here, and I feel like I'm just growing, you know? Yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching, and Happy New Year. Bye.